34 billion is allocated to extend the COVID-19 social relief of distress grant by another year. This rising annual budget.
Ungqongqotjhe wezemali uthi isibonelelo sabangasebenziko sama 350 sisazokuraga neminyakeni olandelako nanyana kungasikuhle nje kezemali elizweni eli.
No, it was very disappointing. It was clearly a budget from an ANC government that doesn't care about vulnerable South Africans.
The ANC government has not been able to manage the country's finances, full stop.
Kanti inhlangano ezahlukahlukeneko eziphikisako azikathabi ngesabelo semali zithi ANC ibhalelwe.
That's pulled away, talking about striking, and that's another boundary for Phillips. He'll add 4 to his score. But I think for me, the biggest compliment that I would give the South African side is the bowling department.
Kwakhambela kuhle ama-Proteas ephaliswaneni lebhigiri yephasi e-India. Sikhulekile ekhaya, nginguCedric wakamwepya, ngiyalotshisa emakhaya ngamakhaya. Nanzi indaba zesiNdebele zizabunqopha kuwe. Istatement somgomo wesabelo semali saphakathi nesikhathi siveza isithombe esipheleleko ngesakheko somnotho nemali zikahulumende. Lokhu njengomana ungqongqotjhe wezemali uEnoch Godongwane athule isabelo semali saphakathi nesikhathi wathi ubumbi obukhona bubangelwe kuqindelisa kwegezi, ukungasebenzi kuhle kwekoro yezokuthutha, intengojuguluko ephezulu, indleko zokuboleka kunye nebhoduluko ebogabogawe yephasi lonke.
This approach is
Uhulumende uhlathulula ubujamo bomnotho nje bungakajami kuhle. Ulindele bona umnotho ukhuphuke nge-0.8% ekuyisibalo esiphasi nakulingiswa nesibalo besilindeleyo ngomhlolanja. Hlangana nezinto ezidisipeza umnotho indaba mraro yegezi, ukungasebenzi kuhle komkhakha wezentuthu, ukukhuphuka kwendleko zokuboleka kwemali kunye nokungatholi isekelo emazweni amanye. Uhulumende uthi izinga lokuqindeliswa kwegezi lizokukhuphuka umnyaka lo ukudlula umnyaka opheleleko, kanti ukuqindeliswa kwegezi kuzokuragela phambili bekuphele umnyaka. Kodwa nanyana njalo uthi ngenzeka kwehle umnyaka ozako.
Our public finances are significantly weaker. The main budget deficit has increased by 54.7 billion compared with the 2023 budget. With the 2023 budget estimate. This reflects lower revenue performance, higher public service wages, wage bill cost, and higher debt service cost. The main reason for this are a sharp fall in corporate income tax, particularly from the mining sector, although personal income tax collection was better than forecast. The result of the shortfall is substantial worsening in the main budget deficit in the current fiscal year.
Ukubuthelelwa komthelo kwehlile ekubangelwe ukubuthelelwa komthelo emabhizinisini khulukhulu emkhakheni wezokumayina. Nakusenjalo imali esetshenziswa nguhulumende kulindeleke bona ikhuphuke nge-4.6% ngomnyaka. Isibonelelo sikahulumende sabangasebenziko sizongezelelwa ngomnyaka omunye.
34 billion is allocated to extend the COVID-19 social relief of distress grant by another year.
Kanti endabeni yenkampani zombuso uGodongwana uthi nange iTransnet isizwe ngezemali nezinye inkampani zombuso zizokulindela okufanako.
Inhlangano zepolitiki azikathabi ngekulumo kaNgqongqotjhe wezemali uEnoch Godongwane nakathula isabelo mali saphakathi nesikhathi.
We did talk about that this budget shouldn't be about austerity, should be about cushioning the poor, and at the same time ensure that we remain focused in terms of our infrastructure projects, but at the same time we ensure that education and health are equally protected in terms of the budget, and social security protection investment also is also taken care of. So with all the challenges that we are facing, we think that this strike the right balance in terms of the challenges that we are facing.
No, it was very disappointing. It was clearly a budget from an ANC government that doesn't care about vulnerable South Africans. The Minister has spoken about extending the social relief of distress grant, which we would support, but there is no long-term plan and there's no funding going forward. So I will ask the Minister tomorrow in Parliament what exactly is the plan.
There is no responsiveness to the demands and the aspirations of our people, and this comes as a result of a failing government. So this sitting government of Ramaphosa and Godongwane are failing to expand the revenue base because they can't grow the economy. The economy is shrinking.
As we said prior to this budget, that we don't expect anything from the ANC because the same government which has caused us so much trouble cannot bring the solutions. We are only looking forward to next year where people are expecting a new government that will have a keen interest in trying to solve their plight.
The minister indicated that our debt to GDP is going to reach 77%, and that has been my biggest concern, with the budget deficit increasing by 54 billion rand from February's projections. And this is unsustainable. As the minister indicated, we're facing a financial and fiscal crisis.
There's no commitment. They are the ones responsible for this thing and they never resolve it. The country's broke. Imagine if we are going to borrow 553 billion rands per annum in order for us to survive, to be able to meet our expenditure needs, to be able to provide funding for ESCOM. Imagine if your debt service costs are going to be 400 billion rands per annum. How are you going to pay for other services, other pressing and competing needs of the country? And it's simply because the ANC government has not been able to manage the country's finances, full stop.
Abasomnotho bathi uhulumende nakahlathulula ukuthi imali uzoyisebenzisa kanjani ubonakala ngakazimiseli ukusebenzisa imali kumthangalo sisekelo owoniwe ngesikhathi semchakalo ngoba uhulumende akanamali. Iindaba nazi njalo umphakathi weRandfontein bewubambe umchakalo wokuthula ubawa nabanye bona benze njalo ukwenzela ukulonda imthangalo sisekelo esaseleko khona isizukulwane esizako sizayifumana.
AmaSouth Africa anelungelo lokuchakala ekulungelo elivikelwe namthetho sisekelo kodwa imchakalo leyo igcina seyikhambisana nokuguruzela nokoniwa kwepahla njengokutapa entolo ukoniwa kwemthangala sisekelo njengenkolo imbedlela nemakhiwo kahulumende.
Infrastructure continues to be important because one of the most important things that investors usually look at, other than the rule of law, the banking system, they also look into the infrastructure.
Destruction of property, those are the things that unfortunately have become synonymous with our protest and strikes this day, and therefore they are not helping at all.
Kathesi umnotho welizwe uhlathululwa njengolengelenge ehaheni njengomana ukusilingeka kwabantu ngabangela eminye imchakalo. Ayijingalanga eJohannesburg eFinsbury umphakathi weRandfontein uthi uchakala ngendlela ehlukileko nanyana nawo ungakeneliseki ngokulethwa kwezenzelwa.
Twenetsa go reprotest ineli taba ya gore re na le project e leng gore khale e le teng e bitswang gore it's a Montrose project. Badudi ba emetse dintlu tsa bone more especially mo wothu
umphakathi lo uthi umraro thoma lokho amakhansela khohlakele kona kangenza umsebenzi ngefanelo anikela ama project abantu abangakafaneli bese leso kuba ngisoke isisusa serarano nakusenjalo uMasilela uthi ngendlela izinto zingayo isabelo semali yomthangala sisekelo sipajiwe ngenxa yesikhwama semali esibohla mlibe.
Ekhasini lethu leFacebook sibuzile ukuthi uthini umbono wakho ngokungezelelwa kwesikhathi sokutholwa kwesibonelelo sama 350 nakumbono wakho uyalandela mbukeli.
Wenze kahle kule mali ngoba isimo somnotho manje sesiphila kuso sibi kakhulu. Kungakuhle ukuba mhlambe le mali le ebekelwe ibekelwe mhlambe ukuthi ivele isiza abantu kungekuthi mhlambe kunento seyithile ezogaya ivote nani.
Bengibona lo 34 billion kuba uthathile bafuna amathuba omsebenzi abantu besebenze u350 incane kakhulu le mali ayikho into abantu abayenzayo ngayo.
Kanumbuso wekhethu lona unjani kuba yini bangathathi imali le ba create amathuba ombereko abantu bazoba bathola umbereko bazondle bangadependeli kuma 350.
Uminister wezimali uncedile ayongezele le 350 uyayazi basiye voting bakayongezanga sozovota sawuvotela eDA.
Unomuhle khulu loyo mhashi ngoba namathuba ombereko awasekho. Abantu sebachashana ngokwazana nangobuhlobo ene uthola ukuthi abantwana babantu ababereki abayingezelele vele imali leyo.
Asali khona mhathi ayahalebha wona ama 350 lawo. Udwana thana bekavula amathuba ombereko ngawo ama 350 lawo enze ku aqede ne load shedding ekhona le.
Umbono ngeumbukeli SABC ayizukuthwesa umlando ukuziphendulela ngombono umbukeli. Umengameli uCyril Ramaphosa uqatshe uadvocate Kholeka Gcaleka njengomvikeli womphakathi omutsha. Lokhu kulandela isiphakamiso seParliamente sokuphakamisa uGcaleka esikhundleni leso. uGcaleka bekangumjaphethe womvikeli womphakathi. uGcaleka bekangumjaphethe womvikeli womphakathi.
Okhulumela i-ofisi likaMengameli uVincent Magwenya uqinisekise bona uMengameli uCyril Ramaphosa ukhethe ngokomthethosisekelo welizwe uadvocate Kholeka Gcaleka njengomvikeli womphakathi omutsha iminyaka elikhomba ukuthoma namhlanje. Ngekengepheleleka amalungu eParliament akhetha uGcaleka. ANC yasekela lokho yabuka imisebenzi yakhe yathi mihle. uGcaleka bekafuna amavoti amaphesenti ama-60 bona amalungu eParliament ama-248 avotele ukhethwa kwakhe esikhundleni somvikeli womphakathi. Ngemva kokuthi umkhwebane aqotshwe kwanje sele alilunga le-EFF eParliament usebenza ekomitini yezomthetho obulungiswa echeche ofisi yomvikeli womphakathi.
Ipolisa lendlela likaMasipalata wekuruleni liphikile ukuthi liyathindeka ekubetheni nekuhlukapheza omunye wabasola ecaleni lokubulawa kwakaSenzo Meyiwa. uJabulani Buthelezi ngelinye lamapholisa abopha umuzi Sibiya ethembisa.
Amagcwetha wabamangalelwa ajame emagameni wokuthi abasola ababili babethwa kumbi ukuthi baveze iqiniso nokuthi baveza abanye abathindeke kubulaweni kwakaMeyiwa.
He was then taken to the Tabong municipality area. Where he was beaten until he messed up himself. Ngicela ukuchazela inkosi yenkantolo ukuthi okokuqala ukhuluma mama.
I'd like to explain that for starters, he is not speaking the truth.
Okwesibili ngiyacabanga ukuthi umuntu mangamshaya ufike kuleso sizathu leso kuyodingeka ukuthi abo ahlolwe athole udokotela.
Okunye okubuziweko ngekumalungana nokubotshwa kwakhe.
You remember at the time when you arrested the accused and you went inside his house?
Sakhumbula ngesikhathi ubopha umsolo wangena endlini yakhe.
Ngisakhumbula.
What did you find in this possession?
Wathola nini?
Inhlava ezingasetshenzisiwe.
Okay.
Icala lisaraga.
Nasibuya entolo.
A peace resolving on the recall of the team. That matter is not on the table. If it was, indeed, our first
ANC eMpumalanga ithi ayikho kungabi indaba yokuthi undunankulu uRefile Mthweni Tsipane kufuze abone eza ngayo. Ubukele indaba zesiNdebele ku SABC 1 na ku SABC Lihaye nakhona ufikako siyakwamkela nawe. ANC eMpumalanga ithi ayisiseme ehlelweni wokususa undunankulu wesifunda uRefile Mthweni Tsipane esikhundleni lokhu kuza ngemva kobana kube nezwa ngobatsho ethi ikomiti ekulu yesifunda ihlele ukususa uMthweni Tsipane esikhundleni. Unobhala wesifunda umuzi Chirwa nakakhulumane wabika indaba uthe akunakungarana ehlanganweni le emvekeni ezidluleko kube nembiko egegako ethi undunankulu uMthweni uTsipane uzokususwa esikhundleni esi. uChirwa ukhulume nakaphakelwa ngezophakelwa ezenzelwa kwezomphakathi esifundeni ihlangano yeANC.
Imbiko yokususa kwakandunankulu uRefile Mthweni Tsipane esikhundleni besolo igega. Kunizwa ngobatsho ukuthi amanye amagatsha we-ANC eMpumalanga awasamfuni uMthweni Tsipane njengondunankulu kodwa i-ANC iragile imbiko efana naleyo.
The peace resolving on the recall of the premier. That matter is not on the table. If it was, Indeed, our first peace meeting that we held, we issued a statement. That matter was not there in the statement.
I-ANC Mpumalanga iqinisekise nokuthi izowuraga msinyana umsebenzi ukunikela imphakathi izenzelwa.
We can't deny that there are no challenges. Challenges are there, but we can also say there are no plans to mitigate and also to address those challenges. There are clear and perfect processes that have been undergone by each municipalities through their IDPs, of late using the DDM to ensure that all these challenges that are there are being addressed.
Nakaraga kunobhalo wesifunda uChira ubuye ugodwa lemukisa izakhamuzi ezihlaleni endaweni esisesikisini bona zihlokomela amawuruwuru izulu nalinako.
Umndeni wakamlobeli kwaBhaca eMpumalanga Kapa ufuna impendulo emnyangweni wezempilo wesifunda. Ukholeka Mlobeli wasala akhubazekile ngemva kobana angene esibhedlela seTaylor Bequest eMatatiyela ngo-2021. Ukholeka kwathiwa une-TB yamaphaphu kodwa wakhutshwa esibhedlela anamanxeba emgogodla nasenyaweni. Ngokuya kwakakholeka solo kwango-2021 ulala ngamathumbu njengomana abhalelwa kuhlala nokulala ngamanye amahlangothi. Sibawa abanenhliziyo ezibuthakathaka bangayibukeli indaba le.
Sele kuqithe iminyaka emibini ukholeka Mlobeli ehlala oluhlobo. Akakwazi ukuzenzela nto ekwaxhomekeke kunina. Ukholeka uthi usesezinhlungwini nanjengoko esenamanxeba awayekhutshwe nawo esibhedlele.
Lela isibhedlele sindicacisele into ba kwenzeka ntoni ngoba kaloku kudala abantu bephathwa yi-TB. Lungs zange ndava umuntu okuthiwa akakwazi uhamba. Isibhedlele zange sinike nto kodwa ndiphume endini ezilonda zange banike nto zakutreata zilonda.
Unesilonda esingaka ndakhala esibhedlele ndathi nithi mandimthini xa nje. Ngoba inesilonda esasikhulu kakhulu mntana.
Iluthwaxile olusapho lwashiyeka lusokola.
Esibhedlela simcela umuntu ngegusha ebuya simcela umuntu ngegusha simnaye siya njalo xa ke sinya edolophini kuba lo 1.5 ubuye edolophini.
Andikwazi ulala ngamacala, andikwazi ukuhlala ngempundu, andikwazi ulala ngomqolo, ndilala ngesisu qha ngohlobo.
Isebe lezempilo lithi lizomdibanisa noogqirha avavanywe ukholeka.
Kaloku nje inkcukacha zokokuba kutheni egula kuza kufuneka siziqwalasele kwingcombolo yakhe yokugula esesibhedlela neza kuthi iqwalaselwe ngogqirha. Sona isigulane siye sothathwa ngeambulance siza kuthi sidibane ne-family physician kwisibhedlela saseMatsikane kaZulu namhlanje.
Lucela uncedo lusithi lufuna intombi yalo iphumle kwezinhlungu. Ndingulwandile Mbulali kwaBhaca.
Nasiphosa ilihlo kezemali, iranda liqinile nalinganiswa nezinye imali. iProteas bethi New Zealand ngemgijima yi-190 emdlalweni webhigiri yephasi e-India. Ngaphambi kokuthi isikhamba sihlole ihlelo zibuya nabazumi sizwe ukuthi baphetheli. Sibunga iziphi eziphambili namhlanje.
Siyathokoza Cedric silothisa umbukelo khona usekhaya njenganje indaba esisiphetheko namhlanje. Ungqongqoshe wezemali enarheni ke emini namhlanje uEnoch Godongwana bekade ethula inkulumo yomgomo wesabelo semali. Sizokhe sikhulumisane nesazi somnotho ngale kwalokho siyokhulumisana nesazi ngokuhlanywa kwemigomo lapha embusweni. Umbukeli okwakho umlaleli naye somnikela ithuba lokuthi abe ingcenye yehlelo lethu. Angabuza umbuzo inomboro ye-WhatsApp ngejayelekileko yomtato nalapha ku-email naku-Facebook. Yizo indlela esizisebenzisako namhlanje siyokuhlahlela le nkulumo ebekade yethulwa ngungqongqotjhe uGodongwana. Sithokoza Paul Cedric.
Siphelela laphaza namhlanje bakhona abalingani bethu bamaswati kusasa ngesikhathi esifanako. Akwande umusa.
Sithokozela Cedric lochane ekhaya ngelesithathu ntambama ke sicalele ubujamo bezulu ukuthi ngabunjani nalivulekile emaphakathi nenarha zinkomba zomoya uzibonako likubze sengamafu kusuka eKapa ukuthinga lapha ke esifundeni sangale ngaKwaZulu Natal mathuba wezulu alinganiselwa nge-30% kileza ndawo ke kuthindeke isifunda sangale ngeMpumalanga kuthindeke nalapha ngeLimpopo ke amapetch owabonako la atsho ukuthi ke lapho abantu batsheje bayelele kuseni ngabantu lapha nekungu nawuzatshayela siyabona ke ukuthi nalapha ke kunamathuba wezulu nge-30% emkhawulweni walapha eFreystata naKwaZulu Natal. Sithole isilemukiso somlilo wamahlathi endaweni lezi ngale ngesifundeni sange Northern Cape nangapho ngeUppington nicheche niyelele sekusuduka ke ukwazi ukuthi ubone ukuthi anjani amazinga okuchisa. Sibuyile lapha emakhazeni kubonakala godinga kuyafuthumala Pitori nge25 iBroncosspruit nayo iJohannesburg neSprings nge24 iCarltonville sibona nge25 sibona lapha ke eLimpopo livale ngamafu likhamba liveza ihloko isifunda sifuthumele kamnandi bomusina liphalale phalaburwa nalapha ngePhulukwane lapha ke sifundeni Mpumalanga nakhona likhamba liveza ihloko kunamafuke ezinye indawo isifunda sonke nasoke sifuthumele kamnandi sikhukhuza singasifuna ukuchisa ke nge28 KwaZulu Natal bonakala kunezulu lapha eLady Smith noLundi nokho ke isifunda noma kunjalo sifuthumele kulapha eDurban la kuphole khona nge23 nalapha ke ePort Shepstone nakhona nge23 sokucala ukuthi njani ke iMpumalanga Kapa likhamba liveza ihloko endaweni eziningi kuyachisa lapha eGraafrenet ukuthi ke ezinye indawo eziningi kufuthumale kulapha ke East London neMthatha la kuphole khona nge22 nange23 lapha ke eTjingalanga Kapa likhamba liveza ihloko lapha endaweni zabo Beaufort West kuyachisa noma kunjalo nje lapha ke Cape Town kuyachisa nge31 nakezinye indawo iMossel Bay yona ke ibonakala iphola nge23 iNorthern Cape yona ke sibonile amathuba wezulu lapha eUppington noma kunjalo kuyachisa nge36 njengoba ke sasibona nesilemukiso nje sokuthi ngaba nomlilo wamahlathi sichisa sonke pheze isifunda sangale ngeNorthern Cape iFreystata khamba inamafu sifunda sifuthumele endaweni eziningi iBothaville yona ke ithanda ukuchisa nge30 sokucala kokugcina